Today we're going to do a modern house that doesn't look out of place in the countryside, but we're going to do it in one take in about 10 minutes on the fly. Don't you go anywhere. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening and good night, and welcome to another episode from me, Avomance, on my house tutorial series. This is sort of a house tutorial. We're going to make a modern house up as we go along. This is not a big one. It's got a very small footprint and I'm not allowed to go outside it. Now, because we're doing this freestyle, I'm not entirely certain what blocks it is I'm going to use, but I reckon I'm going to be basing it around a palette that looks a little bit like this, with things like smooth quartz, stripped birch and birch planks, some light grey concrete, various coloured darkened glass, and some bushes. Let's see how we get on. And there is the space within which we are going to play. It is 15 across the top and 9 down the side, and I can't go outside of that. I can go on that line because that creates the 9 by 15 rectangle. Now, the danger of any house, whether it is a modern house or a rustic house or a suburban house, is that it can get a little bit blocky. So I'm going to try and avoid that by turning this into an L shape. So I'm going to place a gap of 2 there like that. No, that's 3, 2. Then I'm going to have a gap of 2 and 1, then 1, and then a gap of 2, and then that leaves a gap of 2 there, gap of 3, gap of 3 in the middle. Let's put a corner on like that. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Hopes 1, 2, 3. Yes, it does work. Phew. We got away with that a little bit, didn't we? Right, so then what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my smooth quartz, and I'm going to bring this here between all of these gaps, because what I don't want is I don't want there to be grass when I place down things like doors and glass. It just won't look particularly good. So let's get rid of that, and that goes there. Then I'm going to get some grey stained glass and I'm going to pop that in between these gaps here. Not that one there. Come around this way, gap there, all the way along like that. So that's going to be kind of the outer ring of our house. We're going to pop the door on the inside there, and then we're going to pop these up another 2. So 1, 2, 1, 2, all the way around. Like that. And then we're going to increase the glass by another 1 there along these edges. That is great. Now I just want to check something. Let's see what that looks like if I overlay that like that. I quite like that. So we're going to come along and we're going to pop an upside down stair over all of this. This is basically creating our ground floor area. That is fabulous. Right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to create the next kind of level. So I'm going to pop some quartz around this section here, all the way around. Now don't worry, it does look incredibly blocky and a little bit broken, and I agree with you. It doesn't quite look right just yet, but we're going to do something, I hope, that is going to fix that. Now I'd like this bit to be kind of like a veranda area. So if I make that like that, I then need my quartz stairs. Now because I've got my overhang, I can use the quartz stairs to come around all the way like this without it looking too blocky, because it thins it out a little bit. It makes it look slightly less blocky. And then we're going to create a second level on top like that, a second level on top again with some birch that's going to come out. Leave that gap around there because we'll do something with it, and we'll continue up the same places that we've got wall. We're going to continue up again. There and there. There. Just making sure I'm guiding myself. I'm not putting a wall out that way, so we're going to bring it back in this way, but we're still matching where we've got wall, if that makes sense. So we've got wall there and there, so it's coming out the back, and we're placing it there and there. So that is the beginnings of our second floor. Let's raise this up another 2. That's perfect. And then we can get more grey stained glass and we can bring that up all the way up 3 high on all of these gaps. It's a very glassy build, this, but modern buildings often do have an awful lot of glass. And that's great. So what we're going to do here is we need to do something to create ourselves a door to get onto our veranda, but that is a 3 wide gap. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to create an open arch of glass, literally have it open to the elements, 2 high but 1 wide. It looks wider than 1 wide because of the glass only filling half the block at the time. If I pop it there, it fills it up. It's just 1 wide, which is quite nice. I'm then going to get some dark glass, and I'm going to bring this dark glass out all the way around the edge here. I just want to see what it looks like, because I'm not yet convinced this is going to work, because it joins up with that glass there, which is a bit of a shame. But that's all right. So what we're going to do is we're going to take that out. We're going to bring that in. We'll do something with that space there, which means we've got to also take it out here like that. So we've got that veranda area there, which is nice. So now we need to find ourselves a quartz slab, and we're going to create the roof using quartz slab. So just going to come all the way around here, but we're not just going to leave it flat and flush there, because that looks absolutely appalling. Looks like we've just lobbed a load of slabs on top, because we have. But we're going to come out 1 level all the way around, so we match the width that we've got on the steps below, but we've got it as a roof above this beat. This birch wood works really well. I don't often use birch wood for many things, but it works really well for modern. You'll probably find it, a lot of modern houses have birch wood because of the lightness of it. It matches really well with the kind of quartzy light colours that a modern house often seems to have. So that's got our kind of roof area there as well. I'm then going to put gravel in here. Now this is because this is going to be kind of an open driveway come internal front garden, but I don't want it to be too fancy schmancy. I just want it to be gravel pathed, and if we gravel path it like this, we get away with a lot of things. It just makes it look really very simple without having to worry about too many things. And inside, I'm going to come inside now, and I'm just going to do some stripped birch log for the floor. Nothing more fancy than that, and I'm going to run it in a single direction in here. And it does jut up against that quartz, but I actually quite like the way it does that. It makes for a nice transition. That's great. So we've got a nice little floor area there, which is good. We'll worry about how we're going to get up to the second floor in just a moment, because I think most of it is going to be open plan, but we do of course need to somehow get up here. So I'm just going to continue this floor like that. That's the second floor that brings you out onto the veranda, but we need to somehow get the steps, if you like, to move up so as we can get to the bottom. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use some birch stairs. I'm going to pop that there, pop that there, and pop that there. That gives us a nice set of birch stairs that goes up, make that indented. So that works rather well like that. I think I quite like that. What I am going to do, however, is break up this wall here, because I think that's internal. Yes, it is. And make sure that we've got a continuity of that birch all the way up to the top. That works beautifully. Let's come back outside again. Now we just need to kind of decorate the outside a little more. It looks very, very bland. So the best way to decorate most things is getting some bushes in there. And this is why I've got the white quartz all the way around the outside, because white quartz underneath the bushes works absolutely beautifully. It offsets that green really well. And make sure that you get some kind of random bush heights all the way around here. It doesn't matter if you're not doing it in a very standard way. Bushes grow in a not standard way, so make sure you do it properly like that. I'm just going to keep that open twice. I'm going to continue this bush all the way around, create some non-standard height. Bush in front of the window is absolutely fine. Put like that, like that. Let's create a bush of line there. That's looking great. I'm happy with that. And then what we can place on the second floor here is we can also put some more bushes just to break up that white. Don't put too many on this level though, because this has been put here purposely. It hasn't grown. It's effectively been placed as decoration. Now what you might want to do actually, let's get a composter there and a composter there, and then we can create these bushes as actually physically being planted there, which is great. Let's pop a composter there as well. Get some more bush and shift click that onto there, too high. Gives us a nice area. Now all I'm going to do now is going to pop some flower pots with some plants in eventually once we get there. Flower pot there, and there. Pop one there, here, and definitely put one and there, perhaps there on the drive. And I'm going to use blue orchids all the way around, simply because the colour, again, it works very well against the birch, that blue, and it's really subtle touch of colour outside of the fairly plain wood and white colours that we've been using. Finally, what I'm going to do, I'm going to get an oak log. I'm going to put an oak log either side of the front door, there and there. And I'm going to bush up too high on one high on another, and I think we've got something that looks rather nice. Now we can just do some lighting. Now you've got a few choices for lighting. I would say you could use hidden end rods there and there as a kind of funky modern way of lighting up the house. Internally, you could definitely use end rods to light up from the roof. And if you wanted to, you could do it lengthways, but I think an end rod there, an end rod there, and an end rod there actually creates for a really nice lighting space. Let's just come outside and have a look at what we've done. All in all, that don't look too bad for a quickie. There you go, one really quick modern house made on the fly within just a few minutes with a few fairly basic blocks in one take. I hope you enjoyed it. If you like this style of building, do let me know and we can do some more, whether it's rustic, whether it's modern, whether it's something else. Let me know in the comments below what you would like. If you have enjoyed this video, please do remember to slap that like button. It'd be great to know you're enjoying it, and I will keep on making them. Also, if you've not done it already, please do hit that subscribe button. It'd be great to see you in my sub club. I look forward to seeing you in another video. You take it easy now. Bye.